Welcome to Spotlight Gulf Coast, a weekly showcase of people and events across South Mississippi. Spotlight Gulf Coast is partnered with William Carey University and sponsored by Freeze Heating and Air, IP Casino Resort Spa, the Enville Orthopedic Specialists, the Trenchard Scholarship Fund, and Butch Osterlich.
Hi everyone, this is Todd Trenchard, Executive Director of the Baker Foundation of South Mississippi, welcoming you to another segment of Spotlight Gulf Coast right here on WXXV. Each week we come into your living room talking about what's going on all across South Mississippi, and we want to thank our sponsors for this generous opportunity. As you can tell, we've got a lot of people today, and we're going to be talking about the 2nd Street Social Club. So we brought the founders, of course, Billy Rubel and Matt McDonald, and of course we're joined by Lori West, who is, the beneficiary?
One of the beneficiaries,
One of the beneficiaries,
yes.
And with Feed My Sheep, of course, CEO of the Humane Society of South Mississippi, and Sandra Body, who is the chairman of the board. And everybody came back from last year. That means it's been a great year.
Yes, it has.
And I think, Lori, we were just out there couple days ago, a little bit chilly.
Yeah.
For a parade, but now we got the parade.
Yes.
So I love this parade, and I'm going to start with you, Matt. We were talking about, moving over here. This is not only something that's kid-friendly, this is an economic engine for 2nd Street.
Well, and not only 2nd Street, but also Gulfport, because Gulfport only has one Mardi Gras parade, Crew of Gemini, which is the day before our parade, and then we roll on Sunday, and it's become a Gulfport thing. We have Gulfport royalty, we have Gulfport charities. We started first with Feed My Sheep. Lori contacted us last year and sold us on the merits of letting the dogs lead the parade. It was a huge hit. All the people on the parade route loved the dogs. We did too. We collected a trailer load full of pet food, along with 2 front-end loaders of canned goods for Feed My Sheep. I think we're the only Mardi Gras organization out there that collects donations for charity along the parade route. And then we end it with a concert that, if you're a member of the club, the concert's free. If you're not a member and you're just on the parade route, you can come and get into the show for $20.
I think we know a tractor person that helps pick it all up, right? Maybe Billy Rubel's tractor
Rubel, I'm
work.
your guy.
I've seen this thing everywhere. I've seen this in Europe. I've seen it at the Olympics. Saw the Pope the other day.
What does this have to do with the dogs?
Well, how did the two of y'all get together? Y'all just talking one night?
No. How did we get together? During COVID, I was riding my golf cart, and I know I've said this last year, but I encountered Matt on the beach on 90, and that's the first time I'd seen Matt riding by most days asking me if I had a cure for the coronavirus. So I finally met him on the beach, and this really was Matt's idea with his expertise in planning events. And then I guess he kind of used me for my knowledge of the people in Gulfport.
Yeah, I got to see one of his events the other night, the rodeo, and not only had the rodeo, you got 4 other things with the boat show coming behind it.
You know what, though? Getting to do the parade on 2nd Street has been a lot of fun for us. We've enjoyed doing it, and this is our 5th year. Yeah. So obviously it keeps working, and part of that is the fact that we keep evolving and getting the Humane Society in was just such a no-brainer that there's no telling where this will be 5 years from now.
Oh yeah, and of course you live on 2nd Street. I live on 2nd Street. Yes. Both of y'all live on. Lori, you got to move to 2nd Street.
I got to move to 2nd Street.
and of course, Feed My Sheep does such a fantastic job, and it was natural when we came over. Baco, I was,
It was an easy transition for you to get involved with us.
Right, and I just you don't see things like this, and I just love it. And this year I've invited 20 people over to the house. You want to have them do that, but we also want to encourage them to come down the street.
We want to encourage them to not just stay in the yards. The first year Matt counted 2 yard parties. The next year, and the bodies were 1. The next year, Matt counted 20 yard parties. The 3rd year, 30. And last year, he quit counting. So
Right.
There's a lot of parties.
a lot of parties, but we want to encourage the people after they party in their yards to please come down to Centennial Plaza and party with us also.
Yeah,
got
y'all
there.
put a lot of work into that. It's a fun time.
Now,
You know.
one thing too, though, that we saw last year, and I know Laurie can comment on this. Those dogs are all available for adoption. So
yeah.
if you see a pup on the parade route and you like that pup,
Yeah.
you can come down to Centennial and play with that dog and have
Right.
all kind of interaction before you decide to adopt it. But all of these dogs are available for adoption.
Now, how many dogs do we have out, like
We
walking?
typically walk about 10 dogs, and then there are about 15 dogs available for adoption at Centennial Plaza when you get there.
Well, we need to walk more because I've been telling people hundreds.
Well, just right down the road at our home shelter in Gulfport, we have 200 dogs available for adoption and about 100 cats. So just right down the road, we have plenty if you don't find one for yourself the day of the parade.
Now, I have the king and queen from last year. These are their crowns that we stopped, Sandra, at your house.
Yes, for Jax,
And
who was
Jax,
the mascot last year.
Right, he's right over the door there, and that's a story in itself. You could do an entire show on that. But I've been so impressed with the Humane Society. I have never seen just so much traffic coming in and out, and I mean just how well y'all take care of them. Walking them every day, and unfortunately you read what we read this morning in the papers, and that's just horrible. But you see the passion for animals. There's nothing else like it. And I know that it's my family, and you got a chance to come over and take
Yes.
care of them while I went to Washington, D.C.
Well, it's a wild brood there, but they're adorable and they were well taken care of. So that definitely they had. My daughter and son went over to help let Todd's dogs out one day whenever he was out of town, and they have their own half of the house the entire half of the house belongs to the dogs. So I'd say
It's an expensive kennel.
I'd say they're
Mine is too, yes.
they're definitely part of your family.
Well, now, Billy, Matt, we've just got about a minute here. There's still time to register. There's still time,
To get in,
to
absolutely.
get
We'll
in.
let you get in the day of the parade if you would like to. It's $50 to be a member of the club. We do 3 parties this year. We're going to try to do a spring event at the Hippie Fish Golf course over there in Centennial Plaza. They've been really good to us. The parade ends there. But that $50 gets you a unit in with your family and or friends that are going to ride with you on that unit. And then you're also allowed to get into the party afterwards. But keep in mind, we do this because it keeps our neighborhood special. I'm not sure there's another neighborhood on the coast
There
that
isn't.
has their own Mardi Gras parade.
No, there isn't. I mean, I do know the whole coast. I can't think of anything either. That we used to have one at M&M Bank in Pascagoula. We go around the little circle
Right.
in front of the bank.
Right.
But that was it. And this, you got what? You got the planes over there from.
We'll have the
Francisco.
lunar module.
Francisco.
We'll have planes. We'll have all kind of units in the parade. The only thing we ask is if you put a unit in the parade, it cannot be over 12 feet high. We have a gorgeous tree canopy on 2nd Street that we would like to keep gorgeous.
And we certainly want to thank Bertucci.
Oh,
Frank,
FEB is our title sponsor. They've been with us every year. The Bertucci family loves Mardi Gras, and they like 2nd Street Mardi Gras a lot.
Well, I know I'm looking forward to it, and that hopefully cross our fingers that it's a little bit warmer than it was last weekend. But if it's not, I
We
think
still roll.
We'll adapt.
Yep.
So I appreciate you two coming on, and I know y'all are going to stay, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the Humane Society. What's our next segment going to be?
Our next segment is around advocacy and animal welfare, and that some of our partners at the Humane Society will be joining you for that.
Okay,
The day of the parade, though, is Sunday, February 15th, 1 p.m.
that's right. So this will air that morning. You can come on out. And,
Come
perfect.
down today.
That's it. All right, we're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to switch subjects a little bit from the 2nd Street Parade over to the Humane Society of South Mississippi. Like we were talking about on the first segment, I've been highly impressed with just the professionalism and the care that the animals get. I've seen some things over the years that certainly are not run this professional, and this is you can always improve. But of course, we have Bianca Janik. Bianca, you were a model in our show. That's your claim to fame, and if you come back, that's a plus. That means we've done our job.
It was very exciting to be a part of.
Well, I appreciate you doing that. And we have Quentin Denny. And Quentin, what's your position at the Humane Society?
I'm a new hire joining the Humane Society right now. So I'm the Community Outreach and Education Animal Welfare Director.
Okay, so you actually go out and you educate the public.
I do.
About things. And Bianca, we were talking, before we came on the air, there's a lot of misconceptions. People may think that, you just round up animals and you put them in a
In
space.
a kennel, yeah.
And I was watching the other night, animals get cold and sometimes they'll go from yard to yard and, they're just doing what we would do.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of misunderstandings about what our local shelter is responsible for and what we provide as a service to our community. Our shelter provides 17 public-facing community support programs to include spay and neuter and low-cost veterinary care, Dog's Day Out program, the list goes on. And Quentin, actually, as our new hire, he was hired as our Director of Animal Welfare Response and Community Education. And the entire purpose of this role was so that we can really push our pet parent support programs and that he can work as a liaison between concerned citizens about animals in our community and our animal control officers who have an overwhelming job to respond to. The number of animals that are roaming at large, may have just slipped out the fence.
Right.
And we're really excited about this program. We have lots to continue to work through and work on, but I think it's a huge need that a lot of our donors have been requesting of us to work through this system and put better ordinance, or try to work with our municipal partners to impress upon them how important strong ordinances are to protect pets in our community.
Now, tell us a little bit about Venus. I've seen Venus before, and now it's actually Lori's pet now?
Yeah, so Venus she was a resident of our shelter a couple of years back when Harrison County it was police officers had responded to a call of domestic violence. And often in situations like that, pets are silent victims. And they're not the main reason for the call, but when you respond to a scene, many people have animals, and she was found skin and bones, black, covered with flea dirt, and basically had to be revived from the brink of death. And she gained 15 pounds in her first, I believe it was 3 weeks after she arrived at the shelter. And as you can see, she is very, very healthy, very happy. But our goal in advocacy is to take these dogs that arrive to the shelter as victims and turn them into survivors. And she knows no strangers, and men are her favorite, which is crazy to think, but Venus is 13 months. We had to hold her as a court case because in the eyes of the court, these animals are considered evidence. And we really want to push and work alongside, our animal control officers to help navigate the court system so that these animals don't have to be held in limbo for as long as dogs like Venus did.
Now, Quentin, your job, community outreach or education, would you be talking with maybe kids even?
Definitely with kids.
Educate kids.
Absolutely,
at an early
100%.
age?
It's starting at home, going all the way up forward into the policing agencies. There's a ton of opportunity to get in front. Yeah. To get in front of the right people at the right time and start the process right with a solid foundation of what it means for animal welfare, safe pet keeping, smarter pet keeping, animal husbandry all the way through, responsible. If you're going to be a breeder, there's a way to do it responsibly, but understanding how a qualified shelter fits into the community as a whole and how it fits in with the kind of the progression of the cycle where policing agencies become engaged in something, because not only in the eyes of the courts is an animal considered a piece of property to be dealt with. In Mississippi as a whole, animals are considered property. They don't have their own individual rights. So there's a chain of custody in a way that you really need to wrap your arms around and give care and concern to animals. And it's time for it because, as Bianca was kind of alluding to before, it's a hot topic right now. There's a thing called microshed sheltering that we're really trying to get in front of and not get behind of, to educate everyone what that's about. And why we understand the idea, the concept behind it. We disagree wholeheartedly with the implementation of it. And so that's going to be one of our big hot topics that we're going to jump on first and really get in front of and educate people what that whole thing is about, and how you really should look to the qualified professionals. The longest existing shelter.
Yeah, we've been, so the Humane Society, as you know, Todd, has been established for 75 years, coming up this April, and we're very proud of that. And one of the biggest concerning trends that we've been seeing over the last few years, but more recently so now, is that many municipalities are opting to stow away stray animals in these sheds that are housed with black wire kennels for animals that our animal control officers are picking up. Some local rescue organizations, more so retail rescue, which are the individuals, rescue organizations that will go and pick only the highest and most adoptable animals. Leaving the medically needy, the pit bull type dogs that we are so overrun with here in our community, to be brought to our shelter. We're concerned for many reasons. We feel that there's not as much transparency surrounding this new program with community members as well as pet owners. We're hearing from community members coming in through our lost and found department who are searching for their lost pets, that they saw that animal control had responded, but we are not in receipt of their animals. And so we are really unsure of where to direct them to. Do we direct them to the police department? Do we direct them to these unknown rescue organizations where we really don't know where to tell them to turn? And as a pet owner, that is heartbreaking. And so I think that there's a way that we would gladly work with these municipalities to reduce shelter numbers through pet registration, and we're happy to take the brunt end of the work for that, because many communities across the country have these ordinances set in place, and it's successful. Now, of course, the argument could always be, well, people will only follow the law if they're law-abiding citizens, and that is true. However, if we're trying to impact the number of animals entering a shelter system in one singular year for years to come, those numbers will start to dwindle down once we start enforcing some meaningful programs in our community.
Okay, we're going to have to go to a commercial break. I know we have another segment to handle. If somebody wanted some more information, they can get in touch with the Humane Society. Y'all have plenty of information that can be. If somebody wanted to sit down and talk with you, I'm sure that you're willing to do that.
Absolutely.
And appreciate y'all coming on.
Thank you.
And if you got us some pictures, just to see, because people, like you said, it's not just the healthy dogs that are at the shelter.
Yeah.
A lot of animals that need help. We're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to be coming back and talking to one of the veterinarians at the Humane Society of South Mississippi. So don't touch that remote. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. And of course, now we're on third segment. We got Miss Erin King, and she's with Madam Leote, who is our queen last year, and looks like she's having a ball of fun here, about to go to sleep. And Dr. Shuck, and Dr. Shuck, I've gotten a chance not only to have you on the show, but I've also gotten to get an exam from you, bring in a dog that ate the whole bag of food. And
Yep. You got to be our telemedicine call that day.
well, they can seem to get into some things, but this segment we want to talk about heartworm prevention.
Heartworms and heartworm disease. So heartworms, the way the dogs get it is from mosquitoes. So mosquito actually has to bite a dog that has heartworms, and then it flies over, and if a dog that the next dog that it bites is not on heartworm prevention, and it bites it, the dog gets heartworms disease. So basically it's all mosquito transmitted, and dogs can't really give it to each other. It has to be mosquito involved. And every time a mosquito is like biting a dog, the more heartworms the dogs will get. So the burden can increase over time. And with our shelter, we euthanize, unfortunately, some of these animals for that reason, because their burden is so big and it's affected them, and they go into heart failure. And things
Literally
like that.
worms in the heart.
Yeah.
And you can get full of them.
Right. So it's very important to, if you're going to have an animal, have heart guard, have some kind of prevention.
Any type of prevention. Every single, either it's like a chewy every month, or topical every month, or an
There's now
injection.
shots, right?
Yeah, there's an injection. There's one every 6 months, and another one every year. So having that would help prevent against your animal getting heartworm disease, and then potentially even spreading heartworms. So.
But it's not something that there are some other options if a dog were to have heartworms that
Yep.
you can take.
Well, it is treatable. It can be a little expensive. Our clinic does it at low cost. If anyone in the community does have heartworms, or our adopted animals, if they have sponsorships, they can come to our clinic and receive treatment. That's why the month of February is the month of love. So we do all of our donations at the shelter go towards our Have a Heart Fund, which specifically treats heartworm disease in our shelter animals. So any given time, there's about 18% of our shelter animals have heartworms, and if we treated them all at once, it would cost us about $30,000. So that's why raising these funds are so important. It's an adoption barrier because it can be expensive. So when we're able to sponsor it, they come back and see Dr. Shook and go through treatment, and it is curable.
Well, Doctor, the South is, I guess, better known for having, or is this anywhere?
This potentially can be anywhere that has mosquitoes.
Okay. So we got a few of them.
Yep.
Year round,
It's,
potentially.
That's why it is. We have a lot of mosquitoes, so you'll see it more in the South.
so if you have, like I do, six dogs, you can't do 2.
Right,
You got to make sure that you're treating all of them.
correct. Mosquitoes come inside
Make
the
sure
house.
y'all call me. Well, it's difficult sometimes, to get that many, animals, but you have got to take care of that. It's a responsibility. And
Yep, the responsibility of being a pet owner is heartworm prevention. Like she said, we have different chews, different topicals, or the 12-month injection. So you can come see us, get one shot, and it prevents heartworms for 12 months.
yeah, and that's I had that on the last dog that I got, and
Yep.
what a convenience.
Yep.
Super convenient.
So no reason not to. Well, ladies, if they want more information, again, go to the website or call the shelter. The clinic hours are
We're open Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 4.
okay, and that is such a valuable resource, to have. And again, I can't thank y'all enough for what y'all do in this community. I've lived in some communities that don't do this, any of this. You know, they're just trying their behind instead of being in front of. So anyway, thank y'all for coming on.
Thank you.
Painless. We appreciate everybody's support of the Baco Foundation of South Mississippi. And until next time, this is Todd Trenchard saying so long.